What's going on? How are we all doing? Yeah, I know I've mostly been doing videos, I guess of I don't know, relevant sort of nature, of streaming and whatnot, which I guess, some of you might have seen, me playing some bullshit games or whatever, or some of you just couldn't give two shits, and that's fair enough. So anyway, this video is more involved with just me actually reviewing metal albums or gigs that I've been to, and I'm actually killing two birds with one stone, and I'm going to be talking about this beautiful thing, Blood Incantation's Absolute Elsewhere. Now, I heard this back in 2024 of release, I guess. Blood Incantation's been kind of a very anticipated band for me. They're sort of bringing back I guess, that exciting, sound of extreme metal. There's a lot of bands. I think there was a wave back in 2020 or 2019, maybe even sooner. It was this sort of old school death metal sort of worship, but modernized, I guess, which is really cool. I guess anyone that's a fan of the old school death metal, waves back in the day, like your Cannibal Corpse, Death, Obituary, Morbid Angel, Deicide, just fucking the list goes on. But there's been a sort of, I guess, like reincarnation or I guess a resurrection of that sort of style of metal, which has been refreshing. More so now, a bit sort of, I don't know, dated, depending I guess on the band. But man, Blood Incantation, they're just reinventing the wheel. And if I could be so bold, I have to say they're my favourite band now. And for a long time, I've always had, I guess, a few bands up there in my top 5 or 10 or best favourite band of all time. Man, Blood Incantation, no one's really at their level as far as I'm concerned. Just with the energy and the effort they put in towards their musicianship and all the creativity that goes into it. Especially this record that I guess I'll be reviewing. And the thing is, when I say review, it's not like me, buddy, I don't know, it's not going to be like a half an hour video of me rambling on. It's just pretty much me just pointing out the pros and all that kind of stuff. And again, I'll probably talk about the gig that they or the gig that I recently went to when they arrived at Australia. But anyway, there's not much I can really say about this band that hasn't already been said. I mean, they're masters of what they do. They're all pretty much, as far as musicians go, as talented as each other. Just the writing is phenomenal. The best way I think I've described it to some of my mates is it's like if Morbid Angel and what do you call Pink Floyd, or at least this album, Absolute Elsewhere, Morbid Angel or Pink Floyd had some sort of love child and gave birth to this band. It's just got so many cool elements. Stargate has so many different sort of directions of of the song. Starts off really strong and heavy, then it goes very sort of synthesized and mysterious and rock or rocky, I don't know, that's probably the best way I can explain it. Then back to heavy again. Then it sort of experiments more with some very, I guess, cosmic sounds and, sort of like a really sort of, unique bridge section. Feels like you're sort of going on, I guess, like a trip with whatever they're, singing about, or you just, put it up to interpretation of what you feel like it sounds like, or watching the music video. Music video is just as good as the song. And then last section just makes you want to bang your head off. It's so good. And it's so refreshing too, because it's been so long since I've felt that in music. I can listen to a song or a track now or a band and be like this, this is cool. But man, that last section, the outro towards it's like a sort of almost like a breakdown almost, or just a sort of down tempoed, what do you call, sort of ending to the song. And the instrumentation is just so heavy And like I think the last band that made me feel that way was like when I was in high school, man, like listening to Lamb of God and being like, yeah, like, you know, being in my fucking head, like it's amazing. You know, it just makes you feel alive, and you know, it's very important as far as music goes. Like music can be very, you know, sort of repetitive and bland sometimes, and you know, fucking kudos to Blood Incantation, man. For Absolute Elsewhere, it's just, it is Absolute Elsewhere. It's freaking absolutely anything you can think of, just put into two tracks, and you know, it's not like they're singles. They're just absolutely massive songs. Like I think, from memory, I'm gonna say they both go for 18 minutes. Like that's just me guessing. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah. Then you know you've got the what do you call B-side of that record, which is The Message. Interesting style of that one too. It's like very shoegazy or like post metal sounding. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, I don't know, like sweet. Like it sounds sweet, or like sort of like fun or uplifting. Then it goes more into like a serious sort of, you know, direction. Very moody as well, but in a good way, like positive, sort of, you know, sort of moody, I guess, you know, sound. And then just some really nice, you know, sections, like, you know, best way to explain it, I don't know, like, it's hard for me to put into words, you know, you just have to listen to it for yourself, but it's just very, like, beautiful. Like, not as much you expect from, like, a band like it looks like this, to sort of sound. But yeah, really beautiful message in that album as well, which I guess is why it's called The Message. And the other thing is too, like, is, well, you know, I won't talk too much about myself here, but like as a musician myself, with a lot of songs that you write, you want to leave them up to interpretation, let like everyone find their own, you know, message in a song, and I think that's what this song means. It means, you know, you'll find your own message, or a message maybe you need to hear, you know, in this song to, I guess, understand it, or, you know, make it sound more powerful. But yeah, it's just as amazing as the A-side, or, you know, in the LP or record. Very catchy sort of riffs, and, you know, sections. It's actually got really cool, I think it's like in the second half of the song, very classic metal sort of like power chords. That's, you know, just hooks you right in, gets you excited, like, it's like a sort of like a gallop sort of like a riff. But anyway, I'd love to put it like on the video, but I can't because copyright and all that kind of shit. But anyway, you'll probably find it out for yourself of, you know, how fun it is, or maybe what it means to you, and, you know, you'll find, I guess, you know, what I'm trying to, you know, explain, and, you know, I guess express of how good this record is. But yeah, look, I'm just going in raw. I'm not editing this at all. I'm just pretty much explaining what I reckon the record's like, and thought I'd, you know, sort of peel off the Band-Aid and, you know, start somewhere where I'm familiar. Like it's an album I've been listening to practically for a year now, or maybe a year and a half. And I still can't get enough of it, especially seeing the show and all that kind of stuff, which Blood Incantation played Absolute Elsewhere into its entirety. But that's as far as the album review goes. You know, again, I'm not very experienced with, I guess, describing, you know, albums and, you know, what they, I guess, how they are and how to review them and stuff. But that's pretty much, I guess, as far as I can, to the best of my ability of how to explain that record to people, which I'll probably get better at, you know, I guess, explaining records and albums and whatnot. But I mean, started off with that album is insane because there's just so much involved with it. I could, you know, pick a very basic, you know, caveman sounding album and it'd be very easy to explain. But I guess in this case, it's, you know, a bit more complex than that, which is a good thing. It's, you know, I couldn't recommend this album more, you know, anymore. Like there's no way I could possibly express how much everyone should listen to this record, especially if you're into extreme metal or just want to, you know, maybe try something different. But yeah, that's as far as the album review goes. I'll go pretty much into, I guess, the gig that I went to. I caught up with one of my best mates there. We went together. It was actually supposed to be a trip where I was going to be organising my partner's. Oh, she was going to go through surgery, and I guess like while it was happening, just wouldn't be allowed, I guess, in the hospital or sort of I guess in that area while it's happening. It'd be something for me to do, which had just lined up being the same date, but the date ended up getting rescheduled anyway. So we all sort of went up there for, I guess, a trip to Sydney and just did some stuff during the day and then went to the show in the evening. But yeah, so sold our show in Sydney. I believe it was in the Manning Bar, so the university there. Everyone knows this if you're in, I guess, Australia or been to Sydney before or whatever. It's an absolute shit show trying to get a park anywhere. Wasn't too bad. I was planning to actually originally get a train up, then to catch a bus or Uber or whatever there, just to make my life easier. But ended up just driving there anyway, which honestly wasn't too bad. If you're gonna, I'd suggest if you're gonna go to like a show anywhere, if it happens to be in the Manning Bar, it's not too bad. You do want to try and maybe get there early or be familiar with like the area and trying to find a park and whatnot. Yeah, like Sydney just in general is a shit show. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to let my freaking cat in. She's driving me absolutely insane. Go on. And I love how this is not going to be edited. If I'm just going to be like, fuck it, I'm just going to raw dog it and we'll just see how it goes. Anyway, she's not making an appearance yet, but if she does, I'll bring the camera towards her. You probably see it actually scratching down here somewhere if I move my shoulder. But yeah, anyway, gig was great. The support act was Secret Chiefs Free. Pretty groovy band. They're really interesting. Like, to be honest, they're not really my style. They're sort of like a it's like an instrumental band. They got a very like Middle Eastern sort of. I don't know if that's the right like wording of their style, but it sounds like very like Middle Eastern sort of like groove or funk and rock or jazz. Like it's cool. Like it was cool being there, and I was out. What do you call it? The outside sort of area of the venue where I was listening to it when I was just having a yarn with my mate while we're waiting for Blood Incantation to start. But from what I heard, it sounded really good. I guess like from a live perspective, really enjoyable. But yeah, again, I didn't spend too much time on it because I wasn't there to see them. But again, kudos to them. They played an amazing show. Everything sounded great, and the dudes are talented. They know what they're doing. Then Blood Incantation came along. They did a little sound check. I couldn't help but scream like a little, fangirl, and said that was the best sound check I've ever heard in my life, because I did like a 10-second, I guess, sort of start up of just them just playing random shit, but they like still like had that even like down pat, like they fucking practiced that shit and it sounded amazing. But yeah, like they got ready for their sound check, jumped on stage, started off with Stargate, moved straight along to The Message, and dude, not a word of a lie with this. Like, they did have a little bit of technical difficulties, which I barely paid any attention to because everything sounded amazing in general, but no word of a lie, sounded exactly how it would sound on the record. Like, their performance was just on point. Like, I was so envious being a musician myself, seeing how perfect they are when they play. It's just insane. The talented dudes making amazing songs, making extreme metal relevant as well, just absolutely killed it. Best show I've been to, I think, in general. Like, I'm trying to think of a show that I've been to before. I've been to a lot of shows and a lot of amazing shows and whatnot, but from a, I guess, bystander's point of view, just absolutely phenomenal. Like, if I was going to rate the album and the gig back to back, it'd be 10 out of 10 or 11 out of 10. Like, just absolutely amazing dudes. They played, I believe, Gaza Power Plant, or Giza, I think it's called, the Giza Power Plant, from their second release, or technically probably the third or fourth. Then they played, I think, the Fifth Tablet, which was off their, I think, one of their demo records, which is awesome. And then I think they ended it off with, I think it was Luminescent Bridge. I don't know if that's the instrumental track from that single. So I know there's a track before that. It might be called The Eclipse something. I can't remember. Blood Incantation's #1 fan here. Can't even remember what the song is. But anyway, they played some tracks obviously after the I guess entirety of them playing the Absolute Elsewhere record. So catching them actually playing some additional stuff as well was a really nice treat. But just phenomenal, man. Absolutely, I can't put it into words. I can't just express how amazing that band is and that record and their live performance. Just an absolute blast. But yeah, other than that, just thought I'd maybe carry on about it a bit. I wanted to make a video. Like, I didn't want everything to be related to video games on this channel. I wanted to sort of add some extra stuff as well. Anyone that's interested, I guess, in the music side for myself, I am in I'm in progress for, I'm sorry, I'm struggling with words. I got to think of the right words to say when I'm trying to explain myself. So forgive me for that. Yeah, it's in the works. I've got a mic that's on its way. It's just got the financial, income. I don't know what I'm saying. I gotta have gotta have the money. It's just fucking, instead of me thinking about, let's use big brain and use some very interesting words to explain my situation with income and financials and whatnot. I just simply don't have the money for a mic yet at the moment. It's sitting there for me because it's actually coming from one of my bandmates. But once I do have the money, I'll be getting that to start doing some vocal covers and that kind of stuff, which I've got a few ideas. I'm really keen to cover some songs that I've been listening to for a long time. Know all the lyrics already. I know how the songs go. I know them like the back of my head, so I may as well start off with that. Just some silly covers as well, just for laughs as well. Might do Barbie Girl or some shit. That'd be hilarious, and I'll try and do the deepest gutturals I possibly can to make that song heavy. And other than that, that's pretty much about it. As far as music goes, with my band project Ultimate Satan, still got some works. We're still in the works of getting some stuff done with the additional things that are happening. I'm not going to go too much into that, but there is stuff happening in the background that I'll hopefully, I guess people will get to see sometime next year, which we're in December now, so hopefully that won't be too long. But yeah, the vocal stuff will be coming soon. Just as a matter of having the money and all that kind of stuff ready and all that. That's pretty much about it. Other than that, I will be streaming tomorrow. When this video comes out, it will be today. Figured around 6 p.m. So this video, from what I can remember, will be at 5. So if you do want to catch me streaming video games and whatnot, I'll be on that. In addition, hopefully I'll be streaming just some other stuff. It'll just be me chatting. So if people are into that as well, I'll get more involved with that. But that's pretty much about it. Wednesdays is going to be sort of the frequent, date every week where I'll be streaming video games. I will be trying to release a video every week just on an album review or maybe a gig that I've been to, and just sort of express what my thoughts were, or was it good, was it bad, cons, pros, all that kind of stuff. And then once I have a mic, that'll probably be maybe not as frequent, but I will be trying to get it out there and, you know, make it look as good as possible for you guys as well to, you know, I guess enjoy and whatnot. But yeah, that's it. Just wanted to express, or I guess, you know, just get a video out there just to, you know, that's involved with music somehow. And I guess this is the quickest way I can do that at this stage, and then I'll move on to some of my own things, and hopefully maybe you guys, you know, might enjoy that. But yeah, till next time, guys. If you catch my stream tomorrow, I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, that's it. Catches.